We are on our daily broadcast, which already kicked off with Morning Experience, and we bet you're having a good time listening to your station, 105.5 Energy FM. I am Sydney, and I took over the baton already for the continuation of our broadcast, but as you know, every Thursday on this radio, we hold conversations bordering on governance and how you can participate. The conversation continues on Energy 105.5. We are joined this morning by our erudite guest, who also always makes himself available every Thursday despite his busy schedule. Reverend Father Tobe Nnamani is in the studio one more time today to join us to make sense of some of the issues we face every day around us. Father Tobe, good to have you. Good morning. Welcome to Energy FM.
Thank you. Good morning, Sydney.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. There's a shine on your face. You seem to be getting younger and younger.
Thank you.
I don't know if Jesus is rubbing you his type of Vaseline or something, but I like the smile on your face
Yeah,
today.
you know, attitude towards life is the most important thing, even when things are hard. It is the attitude you come to the table with that matters. Yeah,
Okay.
and hope is always, as Christians, hope is the greatest thing we have. Even when things are falling apart, we hope that tomorrow I'll go alone to Kubade.
Okay. All right. That's further for you. Maybe we can also share some of his tips and see how we can also put a smile on our faces all the time. Father Nnamani joins me this morning to talk about building social capital and how you can participate. It's about governance, isn't it? And the governance is not about those who govern, it's about those who govern and those who are governed. And for those of us who are on the receiving side of governance, how can we participate to ensure that we also have been spreading social good, doing good for the entire society, participating? I'll let Father take it away from here and talk us through the main subject of our conversation today.
Thank you very much. I would like us in this edition to look at our traditional social capital. By social capital, we mean a set of shared values or resources that allow individuals to work together in a group to effectively achieve a common purpose, a common goal. And Sydney, if you notice the way we were colonized, what we now call township, it's like the anonymity in township is anonymous. Nobody knows, you don't know the other person in the other neighbor. And the normal thing that's obtained in our communities, where people know each other and they come together to work together for common good, that common good is no longer there. Take, for instance, if a tree falls down here now and a branch is on the road, if there is still a space for you to pass, the normal thing is that the majority of us will pass and leave that branch on the road. In other climes, in civilized countries, the first person who comes across this branch is going to stop to remove it. And you can see that issue of township, we see it everywhere. So we are talking about social capital today in connection with the road traffic situation in Enugu and how citizens can help to complement the effort of government. If you look at Enugu as it is now and look back 2017, for instance, 5 years ago, you now see that Enugu is suffocating. We can't even breathe anymore because every place where you go, you have grinding go slow, you have traffic everywhere. Early in the morning, people are rushing 3 hours to where they are going to go and wait because you are going to get stuck.
Our city is growing.
Yeah, the city is growing, and it's the influx of people in the city in the last 5 years is actually amazing. And then you can see that the infrastructure we have is not able to carry the number of people. And moreover, you see how the roads are. There are places where your car will be vibrating for like 30 minutes as you are driving. And you can see grinding go slow, especially those who live in the Trans-Ekuru side, Abapa side. In those areas where you don't have roads at all. You have terrible potholes or ditches everywhere. And on top of it, you see refuse littered everywhere on the road, refuse packed on the road, and of course you can see that the environmental people are struggling to evacuate some of them, but is it because the influx, the number of people are now so much that they are not able to cope? And when it rains, you can see a strong pungent odor oozing from the place, and people are holding their noses as they are passing. And you ask yourself, is this a township? What kind of city is this? So people are beating traffic lights. That is the one that has started in the past. I don't know whether it's maybe about some months now. I don't know if you noticed it. People are running red lights.
I have.
Yeah, and you know what can come out of it. It is only a sign of deterioration of lack of observance of the rule of law. And all these things are happening. And unfortunately, this is my own observation, that traffic wardens, I mean road safety, VIO, MOT, we can't seem to see the work that they're doing. They are not very prominent in easing the traffic. What I see most of the time is that they are more interested in collecting money. And it goes across both VIO, both road safety, both MOT, and are using iron to chain tires in the middle of the road. I don't know whether the law that established them gave them that kind of authority to do the things that they're doing. But they're simply not coping at all. And immediately it rains, they go away, you don't see anybody. And the animals, they come to kill themselves on the road. And our own attitude is so terrible, the way we behave towards each other, the way we use the little things that we have. So this is a very big concern. And that's why I'm trying to awaken the citizens of Enugu State, especially in the township, to wake up and try to do something. Rainy season is not yet heavy as it used to be. We don't know how this city is going to be, the cold city is going to be in the next 2 to 3 months when the heavy rain will come. And our participation is needed. This is what I would like us. I'm hoping to hear people when they call in to let us hear what they think and what they think that can be done.
I think it's a very interesting conversation, and we are hoping to hear from people listening to us now. So if you are listening to us, you are free to share some of your experiences. But the essence of the discussion we are having here is to mobilize and awaken your consciousness and see how people can participate. I will go back to our guest in the studio to tell us how people can participate. But he did list some of the issues that require our participation. You know, he listed the issue of traffic gridlock, vehicular congestions on the road, and also issues of refuse dumps, mountain dumps in some places, creating unsafe environment for people living around that area. He also cited how we used to be as communities, that very communalism that Igbos were noted for many years ago. But there is a distinction between that time and now. As our cities or places become urbanized, more and more people occupy, then there's pressure on amenities and social infrastructure, and then we'll begin to struggle. But this conversation is about how we can find ways around it, how we can complement the efforts of government. Some of the agencies you mentioned are government agencies paid by government with taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
And people are now expected, are we expected to take over their job in trying to ensure there is safety and sanity on the roads, MOT, VI, or FRSC, and others.
Yeah, I think that what can happen is that we are not probably complaining enough in the appropriate quarters.
Okay.
What we normally do is to grumble in our rooms, grumble in the cars we are passing, and you see the impunity that is going on. How many people will be able to sit down and write something to the appropriate authorities? And now we have the social media that can take up a lot of things. The road safety seems to me to be very, very ineffective here in Enugu. I've lived in other places, so I passed on the road. I lived in Abuja for a long time. What I'm suggesting to complement what the road safety is doing, or the other road wardens, I remember in 1995 I became a member of what we call the road marshals, special marshals, yes, who I underwent some kind of training, and I had some kind of either
jacket,
vest, yes,
vest,
other things you can, and when I'm on the road I can park and come to decongest the road. So where are the special marshals in Enugu? Have you ever seen them working? I'm asking them to come together. Let us come together and post ourselves to those areas that have more problems. That may be a way of complementing what they, and probably I hope that they will not go back and start collecting money. They don't have that kind of power. But that is one way in which we can complement.
Special marshals are volunteers.
Yes, we are volunteers.
Who have signed up. You guys have signed up to assist the FRSC in their duties. But just like you observed, and I just thought about it, I've been seeing less and less of special marshals. Maybe a sign of the times, economic hardship, or some of the political issues with social stress we're having. Some of them are not as visible and as committed as they used to be.
Yeah, why not? I think there are some people who are more well-to-do who can carve out time. Yeah, to come and do this. And if you have a section of it in Enugu, normally it is zoned.
Or we need more special marshals?
We need more special marshals, yeah, because we don't see them. It is very obvious to me that we have shortage of traffic wardens. We have shortage of them because they are not in the places where they are supposed to be. I don't know how their schedules are done, but sometimes they disappear. You don't see anybody at all. You come to this 82 div and it is jammed up. For 30 minutes, 1 hour, nobody is moving. You understand? You go to Trans-Ekulu, that bridge, you see how that place is. The road is bad, but people are rushing, and then you come and see the way our people drive. The driving pattern here is absolutely intolerable. And it makes the city loses its values. It doesn't look like the coal city anymore. And I must say that this has started in the last 5 years, because the number of cars we see on the road is so much. Is it possible for special marshals to now mobilize, even if it's going to be those in Owane, those in the Gold Camp, those in Apopasite, to come together and try to do something to ease up? Another way in which we can help is to stop pouring things in the gutter. The refuse that we dump in the gutter and then is blocked and the place is waterlogged. You know, it also causes accident, it contributes to the traffic problem. Can we simply bag our refuse? I think it's a law. I don't know whether it is being implemented or not by, is it Eswama?
Eswama, that's the agency.
Yeah, and Sydney, come to think of it, look at the refuse sites on the road. And sometimes you don't even have space at all. Traffic, people are struggling, and this truck is parked in the middle of the road, they don't care. And people coming from the other side don't see anything. Very often they collide. Is it not something that government can work it out in such a way that the refuse dump is built in such a way that it doesn't block the road? Or to mobilize more trucks. I remember in the previous administration, we had trucks and they were emptying things a little bit faster than it is now. So it is not something we can just leave for government and allow our city to collapse in front of us. So that's why I'm saying that we can recover if it is true that urbanization has come. But don't forget that places like America and Europe, the townships, they mobilize, they have a way of making sure that the people who live in a particular area come together to do things, to celebrate this social capital we're talking about. Otherwise, we are just finished. The government is not doing it, and then we just keep quiet and allow our city to decay.
Our guest this morning, Father Tobe Nnamani, Dr. Father Tobe Nnamani, is in the studio, and we're having a good time talking about some of the bad images we see in our city, and it applies to so many other cities across Nigeria, not just Enugu in particular. You see refuse dumps and refuse sites overflowing and sometimes encroaching into the roads. And you also see potholes, you see gutters and drainages blocked, and causing the water to flow through wrong channels, and at the end of the day, it can also affect traffic whenever it rains, especially this time of the year. So our guest in the studio here is advocating